Welcome to the Raw Food Health Empowerment Show. We are live on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. I see we have one person who was the first person to join us live today. So thank you for spending this time with us. We're going to be talking about the easiest way to detox because everybody wants to detox. It's like such a popular thing to detox. Luckily, God already took care of that because we have all these detoxification pathways. And the main one, there's many different ones, but the main one is our digestive system, right? We put food in and it has to come out. Mm-hmm. So that's the easiest way to detox, is to actually make sure our elimination channels are flowing. And a lot of people are having difficulty with this, where they are not passing what they're putting in. It's not coming out, right? So folks are going a whole day, just one movement, or maybe 2 or 3 days, which is not, it may be normal for a lot of people, but it's not natural. It's not healthy. When you stay backed up, you're just keeping toxins in your body accumulating, and that can cause a series of issues down the line. I remember, actually, I'll share a personal story. When I was in primary school, I don't know if you remember, Ma, I guess they would call it middle school or something, but I stayed in the same school. And yeah. I lost a lot of weight because I was a chunky child and I was losing weight, and I was not going to the bathroom. And I don't know what happened that caused alarms, but I remember I had to go to the doctor, and she gave me this orange thing called Metamucil or something. You remember, Ma? This orange powder.
You don't mind if I tell folks what happened?
What happened? I don't even know. I'm going to be scared.
You'll be scared. You're going to be very scared and very upset. You used to love Pizza Pocket.
Oh, yes, I did.
Pizza Pocket.
Yeah.
My memory is still very good.
Pizza Pocket, taquitos. And you bought them, Ma, so don't be throwing me under the bus because you bought the caseloads.
Well, you know what it is when you have children and they don't eat, but there are certain things they'll eat. You just give them what they want to eat. I mean, I was that kind of mother. I wasn't all that strict. I mean, I tried to make sure you guys get the nutrient, but while having the Pizza Pocket, I remember I used to stuff you with vitamins. So the pizza is the one that made you couldn't go to the bathroom. Yes. And I remember that one of the doctors said that if you go and eat another slice of pizza, you're going to die.
He said that?
Yes.
Doctors be tripping sometimes, though.
I remember in that same time, an 11-year-old girl died in California. She was an actress. She died from constipation because it can kill you. Yeah, and that did scare you. That story did scare you. Yes.
Yeah, and even till now, I'm surprised I lost weight because I was getting snatched and I wasn't really eliminating. But something must have happened that triggered even going to the doctor about this.
Because you were very sick, Sam. You couldn't go to the bathroom. You were sick.
Probably wasn't feeling it. I don't remember that part. I just remember getting skinny. That was the highlight. But then it turned out like that Metamucil thing was nasty. It smelled and tasted like vomit. That orange powder, you mix it into water and it's like,
but yes, it does. And they use it because they give it to sick people in the hospital. Because what happened, they give it to them because they don't digest their food very well. So they have to drink that.
Well, there's a better way. I am happy to report I no longer eat Pizza Pockets. And I have found a diet that works great for my digestive system. Of course, I went vegan, got into raw foods, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I have been a vegan for 14 years. At some point, I'm going to even stop saying that and just say since 2008, because every time to do the math, it's like, man, it is getting It is getting up there with the numbers. Um, but yeah, it's been
If
the
it's
it's what
2008 to now, is 14 or 15? Be careful, Just say
it's for
2008.
it's 14. 2008. You do the 10 to the 22. That's 12 plus the 2. That's 14 years.
14. Okay, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Say 2008 because sometimes
It's gonna get to the point like when it gets to 16, 17 to do the math, you carry over. I'm gonna just
it don't match. Yeah. Right.
I'll just be like 2008, you do the math. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about 7 helpful tips to make sure you are eliminating daily. Okay. So Mama said the pizza pockets. So let's talk about that then. Because the first tip is to eat fiber rich, right? Pizza pockets do have some kind of fiber, right? Which is the wheat around that makes the pocket. And that's about it as far as the fiber went.
But it's not that you were just eating pizza pocket. You were also
No.
eating pizza. Pizza from Gabby. And let me explain something to you about it.
I hardly went to Gabby's. I was at that point. I was hardly going to Gabby's.
Sam, you don't go. I
Middle
have to take you
school.
there. Yes, Sam. When I pick you up from school or whenever you come from school and you need pizza, I go there and get it for you. And the cheese is what was the danger in the pizza. The
Yeah.
cheese and the flour. Yes.
Yeah, and then I wasn't
So
really
don't give
drinking
it, don't,
water back then.
right.
I
Don't give it
wasn't
to your
I
kids if you can,
wasn't
please. Because,
yeah, I wasn't inspired to drink water until high school when I saw, when you get to high school, your hormones are changing, pimples start showing up, and you seeing people with clear skin, and you're like, how you get clear skin? They say, oh, I'm drinking water. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's when I got into water was in high school. So in middle school, I really wasn't on water like that. And that's the second tip is to make sure you drink lots of water. So like with the
lots of water.
pizza pocket situation, you have the pepperoni, you have the cheese. There's no fiber in there at all. The wheat around it is fiber, but when you get into like processed foods, there's like all this other stuff, that could be
Yes. Yeah.
working against you and like binding you up. So for example, like
Yeah.
I learned bagels in particular, they, it's made out of whatever grain, but I find that
Flour.
but sometimes you could get bagels from different types of
Right.
grain. That's
Wheat,
not
whole wheat, and
there's
yes.
wheat
And
because
they
you can
put
make flour
seeds.
from anything, right? But
Right.
this bagels I learned for me gives me bulk, right? So like, or will even constipate me if I'm not drinking enough water or if I'm eating too many bagels or having bagels on a regular basis, right? So you kind of have to like monitor your body and see, because there is a good mix of things when you talk about feeding your microbiome, your gut bacteria and fungi to get the proper healthy looking stool. We're not going to go that deep today, but you could go very deep, like by monitoring your stool, monitoring the color, monitoring the shape, monitoring like the texture, I guess to say. You don't have to touch it necessarily, but like, is it
No, but once it's
soft?
done,
Is
you
it,
know. Yes.
is it more hard? You don't want it too
Solid.
hard
Yeah.
so it's like dry like pebbles, but you need it at a certain consistency to know that your digestive system is healthy, right? So there's for everyone it's going to be a little different, the mix, because at one point I was experimenting no grains, right? I read Dr. Williams' wheat, I think it was, I may be confusing books, but he had a book on wheat, right? And I wrote a whole blog post on it, and his whole theory made sense, so I experimented no grains. But for me at this moment, and remember, things change when
Exactly.
you're growing, you're aging, you're changing locations. For me, I've changed locations have affected my health, just my environment, because the water is different, the air is different, all that stuff your body's like consuming, so it does change how your gut reacts to what you eat, even if you're consistently eating the same thing. So
Yeah.
you have to come up with the right mix for you. How much grains? What kind of grains? How much greens? What kind of greens? How much fruit? What kind of fruit? And that type of thing you kind of have to look at. So the number one tip, eat fiber rich. And you won't
Mm-hmm.
get it from meat and dairy. That's basically the main point. Number two, drink lots of water. Um, and water is so tough. It's so tough right now because some people don't have access to clean water, because either it's
That's
just
so
really
sad.
expensive, or the
Mm-hmm.
only water they have access to is from plastic bottles, which have all these chemicals that are endocrine disruptors. Um, yeah, it's difficult. I personally invested in the zero water filter, and we did an episode on this, I think, the zero water filter.
Yes, you did.
So
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole blog about it that I could share when I get off this in a review, and I'll make a note. But
Right.
this is how I get clean water. I get water out the tap and I just pour it in. And to me, it's affordable. The filter is glass, so I don't have to worry about consuming any chemicals. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the filtration system, the filter itself has a plastic coating around, but
Mm-hmm.
every filter has. The only step beyond the zero water filter would be like that would be on my goal list would be of like a reverse osmosis filter that is connected to the plumbing system, so I can just turn on the faucet and filtered water is coming through.
Right. Yeah.
That would be
Mm-hmm.
the next step, but all of this is money. All of that is
It
money. you
is.
gotta you gotta invest in it, and I don't know a workaround for that. Like the zero water filter cost me, I want to say like $50. Was it 50? It
Really?
wasn't that much. I don't remember it being that much, but I honestly can't remember. And then you have to keep buying the
Oh.
filters, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the two filters, I believe, are like I want to say $35, and then you pay shipping or whatever. So, but it
Yeah.
lasts a good time.
Right.
Um, did you want to share something about the water?
No, no, because we did all that already, as you said.
Yeah, we
That's
talked
true.
a lot about water, but honestly, I understand if that part is difficult. And when I say drink lots of water, this is the whole point too. Minimum half your body weight in ounces of water. That's minimum on a daily basis.
Let, okay, let me just put it out there though, because I was told this also.
Mm-hmm.
You use water to make your tea, and you don't put anything in your tea, just the tea bag on the water, which is how I drink my tea. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's a part of your liquid going down also.
Right, and we're
I
counting we're counting water and not necessarily liquid, because for some people liquid is soda. You know what I'm saying?
No, 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 no. When I say liquid, I'm just talking about people who don't drink soda. And if you drink tea, like let's say I drink 3 cups of tea a day,
Yeah.
I don't put no sweetener, nothing in there, so that's not considered a sweetened drink. It's just water with herbal tea in there, and that's how I drink it. So I always consider that a part of drinking water. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't
When
know
I
if I'm
put
correct, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you, as long it's that's where it gets into the gray area, because obviously what you're saying, that is completely fine and healthy. Some people in their tea they're putting milk. That's not, um because of all sorts of issues. Is it going to constipate you? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. It really depends. Um I personally haven't found dairy to be constipating, but I have seen it cause diarrhea, because most
no,
of us,
dairy can be constipated.
and that makes sense. Most of us
If
are
you drink, if
lactose intolerant, so
Yeah, dairy can be if you drink milk, cow's milk, it can constipate you. Yes. It's
Yeah.
very
And
concentrated.
so, and when I put like water in my smoothies, I do count that towards my water consumption, but not my whole smoothie. So my whole smoothie is liquid, and let's say it's a 32-ounce smoothie, but I only put a cup of water in it. I count that cup of water, but I'm not counting that whole 32-ounce smoothie. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
ultimately, because our body is mostly water, and water is needed to flush all the things, right? Flush all these
Yeah.
toxins
Yeah.
out and make sure the digestive system is working well. Um, so that's tip number 2. You mentioned teas. So I'll go into that for tip number 3 as helpful for eliminating daily. If you've read Dr. Will Bulshowitz's books, he has 2 now. I'm a huge fan. He talks about green tea in particular. After you eat your meal, and I would say specifically cooked meals, because raw foods digest a little better, but sometimes for some people, after you eat a cold meal, you want something warm, so that's good to do too. But raw foods, especially if you're not doing gourmet, they kind of flush out a lot easier. So I would say really technically more cooked foods. But the green teas help to get your bowels going and to eliminate. I have found personally yerba mate, and I don't know that yerba mate is considered a green tea. But specifically the yogi tea, positive, I think it's called sweet tangerine positive energy or something. I've talked about it so many times on
Hmm.
this show, but I can't remember the exact name. But I found that really helpful to if to
Yeah.
get things going.
The one I have is a matcha green tea, but honestly, I tell you something. I drink regular green tea, the organic green tea, and the only thing I might tip in there is a little ginger. But I tell you one thing, the matcha green, I don't like it.
The taste, huh?
I don't like it. So what I'll
Yeah.
do with that, I'll slip it in the smoothie. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it, but I just don't like it by itself because I don't put anything in there to drink it like that. It's
Nasty.
well, your mother do have her taste. I
Yeah.
have my taste bud is very up to par. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, some things, we don't like all the things.
oh yeah, yeah.
Um, Another tip too is exercise. Exercise helps the digestive system go, right? So, if you are not exercising regularly, you've done all the other things and you find yourself constipated, you may want to just move more. You need to move your body more. And another tip from Will Bulshowitz is actually walking after you eat. It helps the digestive system. So
And
that's,
that's like you have to wait an hour or 30 minutes though. You don't walk exactly after you eat.
oh yeah?
Am I correct? Yes.
Why not?
You check that out. Don't. They said you have to wait a while. Don't do it exactly after you eat. 'Cause we used to do that,
Hmm.
but I don't know. They say you sit and wait for a while and then you go for a walk.
When you say you used to do it, what do you mean when you say you used to do it?
We used to do. We used to do. We used to go for walks after dinner in the evening.
Who's we?
Daddy and myself.
Oh,
Daddy
okay.
and myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
not you and I. Daddy and myself.
Well, I personally found, because I when I pick up a lot of these things, I make it a part of my life. And I notice, like, if you eat a heavy cooked meal, right? You eat a lot of food.
Hmm.
You get this feeling, like they call it the itis. You just kind of start feeling a little tired. What I found is I will eat, right? And I mean, it's not instant where I put in the last thing and then I'm running. But like, I put my dishes in the sink, whatever. I go for a walk. I'm not doing high intensity. I have a history of acid
Yeah,
reflux.
just yeah.
So, I'm obviously, for everybody, listen to your body. But I'm not going to eat and then go do jumping up and down, because that I'm going to vomit
No,
that.
no.
You know what I'm
Or you're
saying?
not gonna swim. You're not gonna go swimming either. Right after you
Yes.
eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or go, So anyway, so I go for a walk, just a calm walk, just a regular
Hmm.
stroll, like 1 mile per hour even. It's just, super slow, just regular walking. And it gives me energy. I don't feel like back in the day when, like, because I would normally have my dinner around 2 o'clock because I finish eating at 3. So at that point, not only is it like the time of day, I've already worked for so many hours, I've been sitting down in front of a computer, it's draining my energy. But then I've eaten, so now I'm even more tired. But that walk right after helps the food digest. I don't get that slump in energy, and I don't even have to go to that yerba mate tea for the energy, because that walk enough does a whole bunch of things. It helps the food digest, but it's also sending oxygen to the brain, with
Yeah.
me just circulating and pumping. The lymphatic system is moving. So like all of these things kind of help not only digest, but to get the energy back. So I found it very like helpful on many
Right.
fronts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, exercise on the whole is good. Very good, for your digestive system. I mean, walking especially.
Yeah.
But I don't know of many people out there who don't have a digestive problem. But ever since I give up dairy, I can't.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Sometimes you only
Yeah.
got to do the one thing. But there's some people who there's a few things they need to do. And one of them might be the position of how you sit on the toilet. So one of the things that I actually invested in, because I thought it made so much sense, is the squatty potty. I don't know if you've seen those commercials of this unicorn, and
Yeah.
he defecates these like rainbow ice creams and stuff. It's super funny, the commercials, but basically it simulates squatting, and
Or is
they've
that the one
done
like it's like a stool
it's like a
that
little
you when you
stool.
sit? Yeah, yeah. You elevate your foot comes up.
Yeah. And they've done studies on it. They've done actual scientific studies, and it shows that you actually do eliminate more with that.
Yes, you do.
So
Yes, you do.
sometimes you think you done, but you're not really done. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah,
more stuff
yeah.
to come out. And I know,
Come
like,
out. Yeah,
we have the summit coming up, the Raw Food Health Empowerment Summit. We did it last year. We have free viewing again this year. So stay tuned for the
yeah.
registration link for that, which will be available next week. By the time we come live again next week, it will be available. But we have Matt on the summit talking about detoxification, and he talks about like enemas and things like this that people do. I personally am not into that, because I kind of feel like, with the anus, right? Things come out and it's dry, right? And putting water in to go up, it feels to me going against God's intention of what
Yeah.
that orifice is supposed to be for. And
That is
so
so true.
so I don't really mess with that, because I kind of feel like when we try to go against how God wants the body to be, we start getting into some problems. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're in a serious emergency, maybe that's what you need to do. But like
Yeah, that's
the
when you go to the hospital, they do that with you because
yeah,
that's serious.
at that
Yeah.
point you have so much accumulation, like this needs to come out, by any means
I,
necessary.
if I may say something, and I mean, I know I can say it on this because the people who are watching is, I guess they're down to earth with everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
There was once upon a time women have to douche. They cut douching out a very long time ago because the vagina is supposed to cleanse itself. The same way the rectum's supposed to cleanse itself. And how you cleanse your rectum is by what you put into your body. That cleanses the rectum. I mean,
Hmm.
your rectum and your because if your food is digested properly, it should be no problem. And another thing again, watch your stool and see how it comes out. Because if it come out looking as like spiral, that means you're being cleansed very well. Some people don't even have to, when I say do a cleanse, like yearly cleanse or so, because they have such regular bowel movement that there's no need for certain things. But if
Yeah.
for those who don't have it, pay close attention to the stool how it comes out.
Yeah.
Make sure it
And
don't come out looking like a piece of rock or a
pebbles.
solid piece of yeah, like a hose. No, it's supposed to be spiral. That means
Now
you have enough fiber.
that part in terms of the shape of how it comes out, um, spiral versus, that really, it depends, right? So it's more about like the texture of it. If your stuff is coming out looking like soft serve ice cream, that's diarrhea, right?
I know that's bad.
If it's coming out hard and you're straining, or it's just pebbles and it's like, dry in pieces broken off, that's
I'm making
constipation.
sounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
if it's like a tube, but there's consistency to it, it's not necessarily not healthy, because it doesn't, do whatever kind of shape. You know what I'm saying? So,
But as long as it's come out and it's not too soft, then yeah.
and not too hard. Right, right, right.
Hmm.
So like with the
But
squatty
what I'm
potty,
saying that you can actually see the cleanse. Like, like people must pay attention to what's coming out. You
yeah,
understand? Because if you're having enough fiber, you shouldn't have to strain to
and
move your
water.
bowels. And water.
And water. And I'm thinking, because teas affect us and exercise affects us, I feel like enzymes, because when you exercise, it actually creates enzymes in the body. And teas have antioxidants. So I think all of these things actually play a role in making sure that we
Hmm.
have elimination on a regular basis. Now the squatty potty puts you in a position where you get full elimination, so you can really empty
Yes, yeah.
out as much as possible. And they have scientific research. So yes, they have fun ads or whatever, but there's scientific research that shows, yes, you are eliminating more in this position.
Yes.
um, Another tip, which I guess is tip number 6, uh, is a twofer: prunes or prune juice. So you don't necessarily need the prune fiber, but if you want it, sure, why not? But those scientific research has shown that helps to get the waste out. So if you have that on hand, or if you're feeling constipated, this is a go-to. It's been a go-to ancestrally, I feel, for such a long time.
Let
It's
me
like,
tell you, they use that in the hospital to give to the older folks.
yeah,
Prune juice. That
yeah,
is from I was a child growing up, and I'm not a child no more. It's been going. Prune
yes.
juice.
So somehow our people just intuitively knew that was what it should be used for, and we have scientific research to back that up. Now, the last tip I'm going to offer here, number 7, is an herb, because I'm into herbs. I tend to go to herbs before I go to pharmaceuticals. And fun, interesting tip: the reason I even have acid reflux is not because I ate pizza pockets as a child, but because of over-the-counter drugs. I don't know if you heard that story before, Ma. Have you heard that story?
I don't remember. But you never had acid reflux from the pizza, though. Don't get that straightened out before you finish. The pizza was causing constipation.
Yeah.
You never get heartburn from it.
My heartburn started after a situation I had in college, where I was on a date, and I remember the day because it was pretty traumatic. I was on a date going to the movies, and before I went into the movies, I was having menstrual cramps. And my go-to at the time, right, this was like, college, so this was before I knew anything about nutrition, herbs, or anything.
Right.
My go-to was the Advil, the coated Advil, because I always had a problem swallowing pills. So the coated Advil was small enough, and it was coated where it was like, this was like the best thing I could use. And like I said, I had problems swallowing pills. So I'm at the
Hmm.
McDonald's. I was at Jamaica, the Jamaica, where the Magic Johnson Theater, right there, where there's
Right.
the
Yeah.
McDonald's
Hmm.
right there. at the Jamaican and Parsons train station for those from Queens. So I'm in the McDonald's. It's crowded. It's like a Friday night, Saturday night. There's a whole bunch of people there. And I'm trying to get this pill down. And I'm pacing. Well, you could just imagine. I am pacing. I am crying. It was a whole thing because the pill is in my mouth, at the back of my mouth, and it won't go down my throat. And so it already started to dissolve from the back of my mouth. And so the stuff is going down, dissolved through so it's like burning the entire throat, esophagus, And ever since then, I had acid reflux. So I'm really sensitive to certain things, right? Because it can get really bad to like GERD, which is why I'm so like, raw foods is not like, oh, let me just try this fun thing. Like, no, I have to eat raw foods. Like, I have to, because if I don't, it hurts. Like, it physically hurts me, and certain foods, like I've said on the show, like the rice, I literally vomit in my mouth with rice, with carrots, certain foods. It just comes up, and it all started from that one situation. Because with those things, like, they're not meant to start dissolving from your mouth. It's supposed to go into the stomach and start to dissolve.
Yeah, right. Because it's very strong.
Yes, it's very strong. We have Jen here. Hey, Jen, thanks for joining us. She said, I'm one of George's daughter. I don't know who is George. Do you know who George is? I don't know who George is.
Is she our cousin?
Jen? I don't know if you know a Jen, but Jen, thanks for joining us live. But yeah, so those are the seven tips. Oh, I didn't even get to number 7, but that was the story to lead into the 7th tip, which was an herb. So because of this, and many other things, I've had, a full life of unfortunate experiences with pharmaceuticals and just all of these mainstream like toxic chemicals and things like this. And so my go-to tends to be natural things. So herbs are like my potent medicines that I go to for anything serious. Now, if I were dealing with constipation and I've done all the things and it wasn't working, my go-to herb would be senna leaf. Senna, you're familiar with it, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We had to drink that.
Oh yeah, when in Jamaica or something?
Even since we came here, as young kids, we had to drink it because in Jamaica we drink it going back to school in September. Everybody get their detox. We in Jamaica we call it wash out.
Yeah.
But the right name for it is detox. But we have to do the washout every September. Whatever you do over the summer, everything has to be washed out before you go back to school to make sure that the brain can function.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And
because it does cause brain fog. You know that, right? Constipation causes brain fog.
Yeah. The digestive system is just so critical for so many things.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. The things that we take for granted.
Yeah. And we're noticing, at least I have been noticing a lot now, a lot more folks having brain fog more frequently. And I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with the pandemic and COVID specifically. I think COVID, vaccinated or not, if you've had COVID, it seems like it's really messing with the brain where folks are just having problems with.
Well, they did say that,
Yeah, with recall and stuff like that. Yeah.
I hope it's temporary though.
Well, with all of these things, our body is constantly, new cells are being regenerated while old cells are dying off. As long as we're fueling our body with healthy things, with the building blocks to make the body as healthy as possible, we should be able to get ourselves back online, or at least get somewhere close, right? That's the intention.
Yeah, that's true.
So when it comes to senna, the herb, though, I just want to put this asterisk there. You don't want to make this a habit. Like I mentioned these 7
No.
tips, and you're like, you know what? I don't really like vegetables. I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to drink water. I don't feel like it. I'm just going to do the senna. This is a mistake. You with any herb, first of all, when you start to use it as a crutch and like have it on a regular basis, your body becomes so used to it, it doesn't have the potency it once had. That's number one. Number two, it can be actually very dangerous for certain herbs if you're having it on a regular basis. Like senna is going to relax the digestive system, relax those muscles. That's not a state you want your system to be on a regular basis, right? You want to use this if you're dealing with constipation, and then be off, right? And then make sure you're doing all the other things to make sure you're cleansing regularly. Jen says, yes, I am your cousin. So you have a cousin named Jen, who's George's
I know
daughter.
who she is. Tell her hello. Yes, hi Jen. Yes, hello.
Hey Jen.
Yes.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
yes. So I don't know where Jen is at. Do you know where Jen is at?
In
Where
Queens.
are you, Jen?
In Queens.
Oh, in
yeah, I
Queens.
think. Queens.
Okay, cool.
Queens, New York. New York.
Yes, repping from Catadupa. So she know all the stuff you were saying about, doing the washout before school starts. If you're from Catadupa, if you're from Jamaica, if you're from the islands, I think all the islands have this in common, that they do that yearly cleaning out for the kids before school starts. But
that is a must, though.
It's a must. And our digestive system is actually the outside. You know that. That's how we interact with the outside world. We're pretty much like a paper towel. You know a paper towel?
It absorbs.
No, you have a paper towel, right? I wish I had a paper towel here. You have the
describe it.
You have the paper towel. So let's say,
right.
What can I use? Okay. I'll use this bottle of oil. So you have a paper towel where the paper's on the outside, and then you have the roll on the inside, and it's empty in here, right? There's nothing in there. Mm-hmm. You can actually put your hand in it if it's skinny enough, right?
Right.
So the inside of the paper towel is actually interacting with the outside world. The outside is interacting with the outside world. We are the exact same. Okay. That roll is our intestines, which just happens to be super long and just crunched down into us. But it's engaging with the outside world. That's why it's so important what you put in, right? And what you put on. Because all of that is getting inside you.
Inside you, yes. That is so true.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever you put in your mouth, this is the outside. That is the outside of you still. So you just wanna make sure that it's all healthy stuff. Now, if you were inspired by this, if you feel like you have issues with constipation, or just want to get healthier, right? The easiest way that I know to incorporate as much of these tips as possible into one lifestyle is the raw vegan lifestyle, or high raw vegan lifestyle. And so I have included in the description, and I'll put it in the chat box, the 7-day raw vegan cleanse. Now, this is a meal plan from my self-care salon program, but I'm offering it to you for free as a free gift. So you can just play with the raw vegan lifestyle. And it's really great because the Raw Food Health Empowerment Summit is coming up soon. And so you'll get to experience firsthand, what is this like? What do I eat? What do I do? How does my body respond? So just play around with it. And then when the summit rolls around, you could get more information and inspiration on your journey.
Well said.
Yeah. All right. So Jen, thanks for joining us live. And I see there's one other person with us live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ma, I don't know if you had any other Tips. Oh, there's one more thing I need to add after, if you have any final words on detoxification.
Oh, no, but I think one of the thing can help folks. I don't know if anyone loves soup the way I love soup. And soup is a good way of detoxing also, because once you put in all your vegetables and stuff, and this is the season for it. So, the soup, your water, your tea, all those things can help you with, because the soup, you put a lot of fiber in the soup. So
Yeah, I
those can
actually
help.
just made lentil soup in my Ninja, my Ninja foodie, and I was inspired. I was like, I need to make more soups. Um,
Well, in my house, it's 24/7.
I know you like soups. I know you like soups. This one I made with lentils, and I put turmeric in it and coriander. It came out really nice.
Cum- Cumin is nice in soup, it give it that nice flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those what do you call it, Mediterranean seasoning. They're very nice in soup. People don't think that you can use curry in your soup. Yes, you can put curry in your soup. Very nice flavor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Curry is good. Curry is good. So the final thing, and Jen, thanks so much. She mentioned that this topic has been very helpful for her, so I'm glad. Um, One final thing
I
before
see a
we,
third person. A third
yeah,
person came in.
yes, yes. One final thing I want to mention before we wrap up is this organization called Beyond Plastics is having an event. And so I know we have some business owners that watch this show, watch this YouTube channel, or folks who are interested in opening a business. So if you know anyone who works in, manages, or owns a restaurant, cafe, or bar, you can share this webinar with them on how to reduce plastics. That's coming up Monday, October 3rd, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And participate. I will drop the link in the chat and make sure to add it to the description. But Beyond Plastics is going to share options for plastic reduction and information about saving money, attracting new customers, and helping to protect the planet. And I think it's so awesome because this is a huge problem we're having, like with the plastic situation. For some reason, I'm not able to put it in the chat. I don't know why. Why is this thing acting up? It's acting up. So I'm going to have to add it later to the description. I will just drop the event link in here. Maybe it's too long. Yep, it was too long. So there it is. Yeah, so Beyond Plastics is going to share options for plastic reduction and information about saving money, attracting new customers, and helping to protect the planet. Because we have too many plastics in our environment, right? It's affecting the health. We've
Oh,
talked about
yes.
this. Endocrine disruptors. Women are having problems with getting pregnant, and then they get pregnant and they're having issues in the delivery room. All of this is because of the plastics in our environment. Folks, even with the obesity crisis, plastics,
Yeah.
the chemicals in the plastics are obesogens, right? They're hormone disruptors. So all sorts of things, all sorts of chronic illnesses are coming from these plastics, and they're they tell us, when you go to the grocery store, bring your bags and stuff like this. There's only so much we could do. There needs to be, from the company side, especially from larger companies, stop producing the plastics, stop sharing the
Exactly.
plastics, right?
Exactly.
Because that's how we're gonna
Produce
get it
bags
out
that people can wash. Yeah. That you
and
can wash your bags
reuse.
and bring those back.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I still see, even though locally, like at Publix, they take our plastic shopping bags back, but they're still giving out plastics. It's like, if you keep giving
Yes.
them, and then
You're,
even I'm bringing them back, but how many people are gonna bring them back?
yeah.
Like stop giving
Oh,
it to
yeah.
them. Stop buying them.
Exactly.
And they're the ones buying in bulk and buying by thousands, thousands and thousands of bags. And um
Well, it might come to a time when we shop like how we used to shop when we were back home. Bring our basket when we're going shopping, or our carts.
yeah.
This way we don't have to, put Yeah, I mean it's kind of sad when saying that because we're not feeling it as bad now, but what about our children and our grandchildren and great grandchildren? They're gonna suffer
But I
if
feel
we
like
don't do something.
we are feeling it bad, but not enough people are making that connection and talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the hormonal
People.
imbalance issue, the rates of PCOS, for example, the reproductive issues folks are having, the obesity crisis. The obesity crisis is not just food related.
Mm-mm.
We have too many chemicals
It's
in our environment
it's
right
an
now, and it's in our
environment.
food.
Yes.
You know, we're absorbing
Yeah.
chemicals from the clothes. They have put plastics in jackets and things that when you sweat, your pores open up. It's actually absorbing these chemicals. They are causing issues. They are causing our hormones to be imbalanced. And so we can see how it's being affected. The fish that folks are eating, even though we talked before about not eating fish, I'm not gonna, delude myself into thinking that everybody that listens to this is not eating fish. I know there are folks out there still eating fish, even though they watch this or whatever. Um, the fish eat plastics. They're full of microplastics in the water because the plastics are the chemicals in these plastics and the plastics themselves is getting into our water supply. Folks are drinking it, they're eating it via the fish, you know, and and two, what folks aren't even talking about is that when your hormones actually dictate for most people how people feel, and based on how people feel is how they react and act, right? So, how they're reacting and acting is affecting how they're thinking, right? So, there's a lot of things we are not making connections yet on that we can
Hmm.
link back to the chemicals in these plastics and how pervasive it is in our society, and the fact that it does not dissolve. Like it's going to be around for a very long time. That's a problem. We don't know where to put it, which is why Elon Musk and these other people are trying to find other planets to put people on. But to what end? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody,
Yeah.
even if we manage to get a planet that's livable, not everybody's going to make it there. Right? You talking
Right.
about the
Yeah.
uber wealthy who can even manage to get on a some kind of ship or whatever to get there. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine how much the real estate's going to be when we get there. So it's just we have to protect our planet that we have right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
Some
have to
of us gonna
protect this.
drop from there though.
Yeah, we gotta protect what we have, and we gotta because you talk about the kids. I mean, literally, uh, the 5 year olds living right now. This is a major, like, our health is being affected, but when the 5 year olds become 35 year olds, we'll really be able to see how it's affected life expectancy and quality of life. Where
Yeah.
researchers are specifically tying it, because right now, like I said, there's not enough people talking about with nutrition. We've done so much research on nutrition, and we still have to talk about it because it hasn't reached everybody, right? But
That's right.
with
Yeah.
this, there's more discussions need to be had. I don't think that enough
Hmm.
people are giving it enough weight, and it's probably because a lot of the plastic consumption too, at least from what I could see, is coming from water consumption. And what do you do when
Right.
people don't have access to clean water and plastic bottles is their
Exactly.
only option? That's a tough
It's tough.
call.
Yeah. It's tough.
So I'm excited
But
for
I don't
Beyond
know.
Plastics and their conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a tough call, but we just have to be aware of these things and do what we can do to make things better. I think sometimes to cut out the water, like we can go back to the water, because that's a very big topic there. To eliminate the plastic, we might have to just start do the filter and filter our own water to drink it.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's what we have to do. Yeah. Because even having the plastic bottles out there and they sit in the sun for a while, we don't know what we're drinking.
But now they're saying even it doesn't matter if it's in the sun or in your freezer, right? These plastics are leaching chemicals.
Hmm.
Um, Even this thing that I showed you, this oil, right? This oil, I love this oil so much. It's in a plastic bottle. So I'm actually putting plastic chemicals on my skin. It's being absorbed, you know. But what do I do?
Because where are you gonna what
What
are
do
you
I
gonna
do?
do?
I
Unless you
guess
unless you're gonna get coconut oil that's coming to a glass bottle.
I tried that and it's nasty. And you know the thing with coconut oil, first of all, I can't even stand the smell of coconut oil anymore. Because in Chicago, I did this whole thing where I was like, okay, coconut oil is the only oil I'm going to use. I can't remember why. And now I just can't even stand the smell. And coconut oil on the skin and you go out in the sun, you will burn.
You cook.
Yes.
You cook.
Yes. That's what I
But you
learned. You
know
will
what's
burn.
good though? You know what's good? The olive oil is good. Extra virgin olive oil. It's nice on the skin. Very nice.
And ants are attracted to that. I noticed too.
Well, I don't have that problem. We live in New York here and it's cold now. We don't have no ants, we have nothing. Thank God.
Yeah. If you live in Florida, you'll notice ants start to congregate around your
Your foot.
your olive oils and yeah. So but yeah, this thing with the oil, so these things, you know, this is top of mind for me too. Like I'm thinking about these things, which is why I don't buy too many of these things, because the other thing to do with this would be to invest in a set of glass containers that when I buy this, I'm immediately
You just pour it in.
transporting
Yeah,
it.
this way don't constantly pull from the bottle.
But
Yeah.
you know, at the same time, it's like, how long was it sitting before I bought it? You know,
Exactly. Mm-mm-mm.
so so it's like
Sometimes we leave choiceless.
that's why it's like
And
if there was some
it's
kind
the
of policy,
safety.
it's not even the policy too, because like this company is not, it's so hard for me to get this oil and I love this oil, right?
What's
So
the
I'm
name of
thinking
it?
it's herbal therapy, soothing touch, Ayurveda, peppermint, rosemary, bath, body, and massage oil with organic argan and sea buckthorn. I'm telling you, it
All
smells
right.
like
So
heaven, right?
what I'll do, I'll get all those ingredients and I pour it into my extra virgin olive oil and then I'll have my oil.
Check out the ingredients. It's a mile long. Look at this. But they're all oils. They're all natural. I don't know if it's even getting in
Yeah.
clear, but you can see it's all
Yeah,
natural.
I see some. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it's a lot. They
Oh
got
yeah.
thyme leaf
A
in
lot.
here,
In that little
arnica.
bottle?
Yeah. The
They
main
probably just
oil
take a little.
is safflower.
Oh, so
Even
they
if they
use
tip,
sunflower
ma,
oil.
if they tip the peppermint, because the peppermint on this is strong, and the
Really?
rosemary, yes, yeah, um, yeah. So I don't see they
Because
got
I
apricot
used
in
to get an
here.
oil like that. Almond oil that has fragrance in there, but I think the oil they put in there was peppermint oil in the almond.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't see myself making it. But like, so a company like this, which is why, this is why even a company like this, I mean, I know this event that Beyond Plastics is doing is catered towards restaurant, cafes, and bars. But these companies, I think, need support to move away from plastics. Because if they did, like if this company had this in glass, there would be no reason for me to stop using it. But right now, the only reason why I'm still using it is because I'm in love with the smell so much, you know, and the feel of the oil.
Yeah,
But
Sam, when you talk about cost, the cost of those things to put them in glass is very costly.
it
More than
is,
plastic.
and then people have
Yeah,
to
and to
pay for that.
the weight, yes, the weight and all that. So, you know, what can I tell you?
I will definitely be watching this event. And I encourage those who have a solution to bring it to market and help these businesses make that transition, because we have to make that transition. I don't think we have a choice at this point, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
But thank you for
That's
joining
true.
us on this beautiful Saturday. It's nice and sunny by me. I don't know how the weather is by you, Ma.
It's it's raining in New York. We're having a lot of rain
Oh,
from
okay.
last night,
Did Ian
but
just
we
go
don't have any
north?
hurricane. He and didn't even say hello.
Well, that's good. He did enough damage.
Ian only said goodbye, but not hello.
All right. Well,
But thank God for that, and I just, yeah,
with that note, we're gonna say goodbye. Enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for
goodbye.
chilling with us. We will be back here again next Saturday, on October 8th. We have an assignment to come back with our plants. It's been, yes. Remember we said 2 weeks. So Ma, you
Okay.
supposed to be showing your spinach, and I'm supposed to show my
No, the
basil.
spinach. No, correct that one while you're online. The spinach will not be there.
Why?
The spinach is too much work, and they said it have to be early spring to do that. No, so we have to do another one, but not spinach.
I'm gonna still try with my basil. I'm actually still trying to find it.
Basil is not
Organic
a problem.
basil.
Okay,
Organic. It's
all
like
right.
Florida hates organic. I don't understand. This is another gripe I'm
Because
having.
you know what it is, the people them don't demand it. That Sam, they have to ask for it.
I
They don't
think
demand
I
it.
think there is pushback from the farmers here, to be honest, because I'm hearing how the farmers talk, and like they it's the money. In Illinois it was the trust. They didn't trust it. But in Florida, they just don't want to pay for the USDA certification, and this is the biggest problem. I went to Home Depot, like you said, and they didn't have any. They had romaine lettuce, they had all the things, none of it organic, and it took forever to get help to find. They said I had to call somebody to make a request for the buyer to buy. It's like, why don't you just have it?
So do they have the seeds, like organic seeds, like, because
uh
this would be a good time
no.
to order your seeds that you could have them ready for spring, you know?
Yeah, I'm a actually, guess where I found organic basil plant? You wouldn't believe.
In the supermarket.
Walmart, online. I don't know if they have it. I'm gonna have to try in the store, but they have it online. It says they have it, and I would not have thought
Hmm.
Walmart. I really wouldn't have. But let's see. I'll be able to give a better report next week, uh,
Yes.
when
Okay.
we come back with our receipts on how our plants are looking, because we growing these herbs. Okay, we growing these herbs.
All
and
right.
then and then we're also going to be talking about menstrual health on October 8th. So yeah, a lot of people out there suffering unnecessarily, to be honest, because there are things that
You
we
sure
could
you want
do.
me to be on that show? Because I don't
Why?
remember anything about that.
Ma, you first of all, you trying to get out of showing this spinach. I don't know why you come up with, oh, it gotta be made. I don't understand you right now. No, you could be on it. You could be on it. You're gonna be there. Anyway, so yeah, we will
Yes, I
be
will.
back here next week with that. Make sure to subscribe, press the notification bell. Press that bell on the channel to make sure you're notified when we go live, when we post videos. And share this video if you know anybody in your family who may need some assistance with getting regular healthy bowel movements. Make sure you share. You could be saving a life. Like Mama said, people are out here dying from constipation, and we could do something about that. I do want to put a star next to that, though. There are some pharmaceutical drugs that cause constipation. It's a side effect of some pharma drugs. So just
Hmm.
to put that there. But if you're doing all the things and you are taking medication, that's something to talk to your doctor about. So just to put that note. But thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Ma, for being my ride or die. As always.
Always, sweetheart. Got your back.
Got your back. All right, signing off.